The clone troopers of the Grand Army of the Republic made up one of the most formidable fighting forces the Star Wars galaxy has ever seen. But they had one major design flaw: accelerated aging. That meant their lifespans were roughly half that of a normal human. And that's if they didn't get killed in a brutal war or get tossed aside by the Empire when their usefulness ran out. So, how did one clone trooper manage to defy the odds and live for decades longer than every single one of his brothers? Well, the clone we're going to look at is CT-61-116, or as he was known to his friends, Kix. He is almost certainly the longest living clone trooper in all of Star Wars. During the Clone Wars, Kix served as a dedicated medic in the legendary 501st Legion, right alongside Captain Rex, and under the command of Jedi General Anakin Skywalker. He was on the front lines of some of the war's most brutal campaigns, on worlds like Christophsis and the grueling meat grinder of the Ringo Vinda space station. But it was what happened during the Battle of Ringo Vinda that would alter his path forever. The whole thing started with one horrifying moment. Without any warning, a good soldier, Clone Trooper Tup, just snapped. He entered a trance-like state, turned his blaster on Jedi Master Tiplar, and executed her in cold blood. As the Legion's medic, Kix was immediately assigned to figure out what went so horribly wrong. After witnessing this firsthand, Kix became suspicious. This was further reinforced by a tense conversation with his brother, Fives, in a Coruscant bar, where the ARC trooper warned him of a conspiracy that went all the way to the top of the Republic. Digging into things further, Kix discovered the secret of the inhibitor chips, an organic piece of hardware planted in every clone trooper's head designed to force them to carry out Order 66. Horrified, he knew he had to warn the Jedi, to save not only his brothers from becoming assassins against their will, but the very Republic they had sworn to protect. His investigations did not go unnoticed, however. Count Dooku learned that a lone clone medic was on the verge of exposing his master's entire grand plan. Before Kix could, spill the beans to the Jedi, Dooku ordered his capture. Ambushed by separatist droids, Kix was taken prisoner and brought aboard a separatist cruiser bound for Sereno. There he was frozen in a cryostasis pod, a living man suspended in time, his urgent warning trapped with him. But as the cruiser, the Obrexta III, took off, it was ambushed by Republic forces. The Republic fleet made easy work of the lone cruiser, damaging it heavily. With no other option, the ship's droid commander made a desperate blind hyperspace jump to a random set of coordinates, anywhere to keep Kix from falling back into Republic hands. The gamble half worked. The ship escaped, but it soon crash-landed on the remote desert world of Ponima, where it would lose power and remain lifeless for decades. And inside, Kix was still suspended in that stasis pod. While he slept, the galaxy burned. Order 66 was carried out. The Jedi Order fell. The Republic he fought for became the Galactic Empire. The Empire rose and was defeated. For 50 years, that's right, half a century, Kix remained frozen, while the galaxy and everyone he ever knew aged and died around him. Around the time of the events of The Force Awakens, a pirate crew led by Saidan Athano, the Crimson Corsair, stumbled upon the crashed separatist ship. They were hunting for the lost treasure of Count Dooku, and believing they were about to find riches, they set out to raid the wreck. But a real shock would come when they reached the ship's vault and found only a single frost-covered stasis pod. With nothing left to lose, they opened it. A startled Kix emerged, gasping for air and immediately rambling about the plot against the Jedi, desperate to get to the Republic and warn General Skywalker. But he was half a century too late. The pirates had to break the news. The war was long over, the Jedi were gone, the Republic was gone, and his brothers, they were all gone. Let's quickly take a look at the numbers here. Kix was created around 32 BBY and frozen in 19 BBY. So at that time, he was technically 13 years old, but biologically 26 due to the accelerated aging. 50 years passed where he stayed exactly the same. When he woke up, he still had the body of a 26-year-old, but on paper, he was 63. Any other clone from his generation who might have miraculously lived that long would have the body of a 126-year-old. Weight of that revelation was crushing. Kix was a man out of time, a ghost from a forgotten war. But he wasn't the only thing the Crimson Corsair recovered. They also found the ship's memory core, which contained a map of every secret separatist facility across the galaxy. With his brothers gone and the Republic a distant memory, Kix had no purpose. So when Sidon Athano offered him a place on his crew, he accepted. With nothing left to lose, CT-6116, the medic, became a pirate. His appearance began to change rapidly. He grew out his hair and a beard, covering the old Republic tattoos on his head. But despite being a man out of time, he still wore his clone armor, though it was a modified Phase 1 kit, painted with the blue and red markings of his new crew. Whispers would spread through the Outer Rim about the existence of the last clone, a haunted warrior fighting a personal war that had ended decades ago. But was Kix really the longest living clone trooper? There are a few other contenders. The first one that probably comes to mind is his old commanding officer, Captain Rex. We know he survived Order 66, fought for the Rebel Alliance, and was even at the Battle of Endor. At that point, Rex would have the body of a 72-year-old due to his accelerated aging. While his final fate is unknown, that battle took place almost 30 years before Kix was even woken from stasis. It's possible we'll see Rex pop up later on the timeline, say in Ahsoka Season 2, but he's getting pretty old. And I swear to God, Dave Filoni, if you kill him off in a sad self-sacrifice scene to save Ahsoka, we're gonna have a problem. Then there are the two Jango Fett clones without any accelerated aging, Boba Fett and Omega. These two aren't clone troopers per se, but they're the purest test case for how long a clone could naturally live. Boba Fett has no confirmed death in canon or legends and was still active well into his 70s in the old continuity. But Kix, thanks to his 50 years on ice, would still be in his physical prime long after Boba was an old man. Kix's story represents the ultimate tragedy of the clones. He was a medic who survived everyone he was sworn to save, a man who missed the end of his own war. But his journey might have come full circle. At the Battle of Exegol in The Rise of Skywalker, the Crimson Corsair is listed as one of the ships in the Citizens' Fleet that answered Lando's call. While it's never confirmed on screen, it's incredible to think that on board that ship was Kix, the last clone trooper, flying into battle one final time to finish the fight he was created for. From a loyal soldier to a haunted pirate, Kix's life is a testament to the enduring and often tragic spirit of the clone army. He carried the memory of millions of brothers for over half a century, a lonely survivor who got to see the dawn his generation fought and died for. In the end, his story isn't just about survival. It's about the impossible burden of being the one left behind. What do you think of Kix's incredible journey? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoy deep dives into Star Wars lore, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next story.